So I've got people leaving comments on my comments saying they don't understand how the damage in the red states is going to affect Trump's vote. Now, this should instantly sound like a liberal, Democratic, most likely camel voter. Because how would you not see this? But it seems to be common. See, this seems to be a common theme. So if red states are getting hit, and we have all kinds of immigrants in every state, all while since the 1960s we have well-documented public information being released that there is technology that's been around for much longer than 60 years that has allowed the government to control the weather. So since the 60s, this has been a known thing in public domain. Which means that for longer than 60 years, there's been people that have been conspiracy theory talking about this kind of stuff, right? So to sit there and say this is conspiracy theory talk would be to rewind technological time more than 60 years, which is a long time technologically. So on top of the weather control, you can go back 150 years, and Delgado is a matador who was a doctor that experimented on animals and humans that successfully stopped a bull, full-size bull, dead in its tracks. The abilities that he was able to control via remote were stop, go, rage, calm, left, and right. I believe that was the extent of it. You can make him angry or happy, stop, go, left, right. I think that was, there may have been a few other things, but that's it. And Delgado achieved that over 150 years ago by oral consumption to the bull, right? So feed some substance to the bull grows antenna out of the skin and then becomes controllable via remote. Very scary technology. Absolutely suppressed from public. If you want more information on that technology, just type in mind control history channel. That'll bring you to less than 1 year ago. That's right around 8 or 9 months ago. Maybe like 10 months by now. It might be about 10 months. Not quite a year old. The host is the main character, whoever the actor was in the show Heroes, the antagonist. So the dark-haired antagonist from Heroes looks kind of like Ben Affleck. He's the host of this ASU episode. They cover how they could either implant something on you or strap diodes to you and you'll lose your free will. So one person can move their hand, and the person that has been attached to this electrical system, they could do this and you wouldn't even know it. Very easily. The person that doesn't, the person that's not controlling their arm's moving beyond their control, beyond free will, right? That's 150 years old. So to sit there and think that they can't control the weather today, that they were doing stuff to the human body 150 years ago, I believe that 60 years ago they were controlling the weather. You can sit there and think that the weather was a coincidence, okay? So sure, the weather coincidentally rolled through red voting states, right? Okay, well also coincidentally there's a bunch of illegal immigrants in every state, right? So, I mean, if they just wanted to be stupid, they could have done illegal immigrants somehow randomly, coincidentally favored the states that had the hurricane roll through it, and they also happened to stay in hotels that did not get hit by the hurricane. They know they can't do that to you. So what they do, they put illegal immigrants in every state possible, and then they threaded a hurricane like a needle through a sewing needle, or like a thread through a sewing needle rather than, contrary. So they threaded the hurricane through the cities, very precisely past the immigrants, all the illegal immigrants, right? That way you can take out the deep-rooted, hardcore, never-wavering Trump voters. So perfect. You took out the base, right? Whatever was gonna drive that vote, no matter what. So now we've got all these brand new voters with $10,000 government cash, maybe in food stamps or something along those lines, but they can still direct it towards place to stay, or they can turn it back into government money somehow. Nonetheless, their purchasing power is $10,000 stronger than any of the U.S. citizens who were taxpayers feeding into that very $10,000, who now lost their homes, have no place to stay, most likely haven't placed a vote yet. So instantly right there, we now have a few states that were guaranteed red votes, potentially are going to be blue votes. Because there's enough illegal immigrants, enough of the citizens have perished through the damage. Rest their souls. Because what's going on right now, we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. Billions of dollars are going same day we're sending billions of dollars to Israel. We're claiming the U.S. government's broke and offering only $750 to the hurricane victims that they have to pay back. So they don't even get to keep it. Sure, they can spend it on whatever they want, but they have to pay that thing back as soon as infrastructure's been restored wherever they live. Something along those lines. Big disaster. This is all a mess. No one's paying close enough attention. I don't know how to draw more of this into the light. Stay tuned. That's a heavy episode right there. Lots of information. They can do this to your body. They can do this to the weather. They'll destroy your entire state after replacing you with illegal immigrants and giving them more resources while watching you suffer and handing you $1 in a cup that has a hole in the bottom of it.